Since the beginning of coronavirus pandemic, many people had to change their daily routines to meet the restrictions that are here to prevent the spread of the virus. This also included sustainable lifestyle habits not only on the bigger scale, but on our daily lives as well. Today we will be talking with Gerome, who moved from Belgium to Lithuania just a couple of years ago and established a platform called zerowasteshops.lt, which allows all the people to find zero waste shops and provides useful and various other tips on top. His recent article about zero waste during the quarantine got us really interested. So let's see how it went. You know, when we're talking about zero waste lifestyle and when we're actually telling people to stuff about it, I think that it's quite important for them to know what is our own stand in it, right? So I just wanted to ask you about your kind of start in the zero waste. You said that you started this lifestyle 2 years ago, right? But what pushed you towards it? Like, why do you do it? And I don't know, what do you see in it?
So I think I had that already when I was younger. My mom was quite sharing these environmental stuff, but it was not like super pushed. We started to hear about climate change and nature disaster and everything, but we were never really pushed to act. And recently, also 2 years ago, it was a bit more obvious that the climate change was around. And at that moment I really decided, and I realized that actually I had an impact, so I decided to change my own lifestyle. So that's really how it came. I wanted to do something that I had power on, and so starting with myself was a good start, and I also want to share that to others. So
that's great. That's how it all starts, actually. And to talk about myself as well.
Of course.
What am I doing here and why am I talking with you? And I'm Migle, by the way, and I am one of the co-founders of Reset, which is a zero waste shop. But that's like the primary thing that we do. But in general, we kind of try to spread the zero waste message as you do as well. To schools, universities, libraries all around Lithuania. A chance to talk about anything that's connected to ecology or zero waste. We try to do that, and this is one of these opportunities as well. So again, I'm really happy to have you here, and I think we can move on to our first question. And I have them here on my phone, so I'm just gonna speak a bit from time to time. And so before we talk about everything, about the questions that I had, I wanted to maybe point out to the people who are watching or who will be watching that zero waste is not the higher priority over safety, right? As we discussed before. Like, what do you think are the safety over zero waste priorities here? Like, what would you say about this specific question?
So, well, I definitely think that we should never trade safety for zero waste. I think the zero waste movement is fighting for a long-term problem for humanity to be alive on Earth. But the coronavirus is a direct threat. So if we cannot, as long as we don't solve that problem, we won't be able to move forward. However, I think that we can still stay protected and safe with more sustainable ways. And this is from knowing what actually protects us, because there is a lot of myths around, and we used to like animals rushing on things we believe is the best, and sometimes it's not the truth. So that's about this mindset of asking ourselves the good questions to go sustainable.
Yeah, talking about this specific question that you just said about the myths and everything, I kind of remembered one fact about actually animals and the coronavirus, because at the first start of the whole quarantine situation, there was like a higher, let's say, people started to giving away their pets at homes because they
Yeah,
started thinking that, you know, if my cat or a dog, if I go outside with him, he will catch the corona, you know, he will lick my face and then
yeah.
I'm gonna have it as well. So, but after some time, it was proved that it's a myth and animals don't actually get corona. And yeah, so this is one of the things that I think it's important to mention here as well.
Very interesting point of view. I don't have a pet, so never thought about it. But it's true. I heard that lots of places where dogs are hosted and stuff are overcrowded because people
Yes.
believe that, and it's
Yes,
indeed
so
not
this is,
true.
I
So.
think, yeah, quite important. So, talking about the myths a bit further, what do you think is necessary to have as a protection on your face or anywhere else? And what is actually a myth that does not really help you with, I don't know, security or health or anything else, but is kind of a threat to the environment?
Yeah, so well, first of all, I want to say that I am not an expert in corona protection. So I believe that we must protect as much as we can, but still think and see if there is not a sustainable option.
Yeah.
So, well, for example, the mask, I heard there is a lot of debate whether it's effective or not, and this is because there are so many different options of masks. But what I can say from these ones is we should just go for the reusable ones if we can. So, for example, I chose cloth, the cloth one. I know it's not the most effective, but if I keep my 1 meter distance and wash my hands regularly, I think I will be safe.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Actually, sorry to interrupt you, to add to this mask thing,
Yep.
I also use a reusable one that my mom did for me. And I read in an article that those cloth masks are actually 50%, they give you a 50% of safety. And the medical ones, they have 80% safety. So
Yeah.
either with that one or with that one, you're not 100% sure. So as you said, keeping your distance, washing your hands is, of course.
Which is proved to be the most effective thing. So yeah, definitely. And also, I believe for those surgical masks, other people also need them, which are people working at medicals. So it's also good to think about them and don't buy it for ourselves, but keep it for them. So yeah, well, it's a lot of different aspects that we must take into account. Another one that I saw in the supermarket, for example, are the plastic gloves.
Oh yeah, those ones, of course. Everyone, that's
which are
fashion of 2020, right?
There will be fashions about it, definitely, as a memorial of the virus. So this one, apparently, it's proven that they are not protecting against the threat of the coronavirus because the virus is like a flea that is jumping from surfaces to other surfaces. And if we just touch something with that protection, the virus might be on it. And as we feel more protected of having these gloves, we might do dangerous stuff like touching faces or touching other people, if it happens for for some of you. But so it just gives a fake feeling of protection, and unfortunately, most of them are thrown away on the ground. So if you still want to keep it, just throw it away in a garbage. That'd be the best. And still wash hands, because even when we remove the gloves, we might actually touch it, touch the person which is staying there. So yeah, that's another big one, I think. You have any? Do you wear yourself gloves?
No, I don't. Well, at first, when everybody was just talking about it and they were all like crazy about this whole disease thing, I kind of fell into the masses and I kind of started wearing, when I went to the shop, I started wearing like fabric gloves, the ones that you wear when it's cold outside.
Yep.
and then I would just put them to my washing machine when I come back home. But now after some time, there's just, I don't know, I don't think there's any point of, doing that, because if you, as you said, if you take them off and you touch them, you still get infected. And again, you have to wash your hands, keep your distance, don't touch your face. Like I don't think there's anything else that you can do here.